Yo guys, and welcome to another video. Today we're going to have a look at the newly released DLC of Age of Empires 2 DE called Dawn of the Dukes. Now it says here update 51737, which is obviously the update, the patch that comes along with the new DLC. So we're going to have a quick look, share some thoughts and opinions of everything. I'll show you guys the new civilizations as well and all of that stuff. So, hello and welcome to another release filled with exciting updates, balance changes, and bugs fixes for Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition. Today's build brings several fixes and updates to the game, including addressing several issues with the game crashing, civilization, and map updates, and improvements and fixes to the AI. Many of these changes and fixes are a direct result from you guys reporting, etc. Blah blah blah. On top of all the new changes, features, and improvements coming with today's build, Dawn of the Dukes introduces two all-new civilizations, the Poles and the Bohemians. Experience 3 new fully voiced campaigns and 60 new achievements. Now, let's take a quick look at some of the changes coming with today's update. Polish language support, okay. Units which were commanded using attack move no longer try to get into formation when reaching the destination they were... Okay. We have balance changes and some other stuff. Thanks to the community for all the help, indeed. Let's go down to the spotlight here. 2 new civilizations, the Poles. The Poles are a cavalry civilization, while their western neighbors employed deadly companies of heavily armored cavalry. The Poles leveraged their strengths to evolve more towards what modern eyes might class as medium cavalry. While they could not always triumph over their rival counterparts on an individual basis, they emphasized maneuverability, organization, and shared numbers at a time when warfare was shifting away from the typical medieval model. The Bohemians are a gunpowder and monk civilization, threatened both militarily and ideologically on nearly all sides. The Bohemians responded with groundbreaking innovations in both spheres. Novel weaponry, battle tactics, and defensive strategies shattered the numerous feudal and professional armies of their invading rivals, while scholarly thought and debate inaugurated one of the earliest successful social revolutions in the early modern European history. Bohemian armies compensated for a lack of sheer brute strength with an uncanny ability to outwit, outmaneuver, and counter their opponents. So I am, for those, if you're watching on YouTube, I am streaming as well at the same time, so just so you are aware. But let's have a quick, can't talk. Stability and performance. Fix the crash. Okay, crashes we don't care about. Okay, they fixed crashes. Well, I'm sure a lot of people care about them, but going into detail on what exactly they fixed. Okay. Sorry. I will leave a link to this in the description of the video if you guys want to check it out yourself. And I'll post it in Twitch chat if anyone viewers want to watch it as well. There's some audio changes as well. UI post-game timelines now properly align players with their own graph. Players are sorted by team. That's good. Normally you would have to look and find back and forth all over the place where the players are. But now if you're a team, you're going to stay on the same side, so that's good. The amount of secondary projectiles is now included in the attack display for units which fire several projectiles. Oh, that's interesting. Fixed an issue where in multiplayer lobbies with the hide civilization option enabled, where players were able to see another player's civilization when switching to their player color. That is awesome. It's happened by accident for me in a couple of tournaments where I just want to go to my color, or an opponent is going to his color, and when we share the same color, suddenly they can see what save I had picked, or I see what pick he was doing. So that's good. Okay. Sergeants spawned by the first Crusade technology no longer default to using the aggressive stance when the default aggressive unit stance is disabled. Okay. The going above and beyond cheat code is now available to all players. I'm not sure what exactly that one was. I think that comes with the new DLC. Excellent, Kappa. Adjusted several AI player-controlled campaigns. We will get into this eventually. Increase the difficulty of the Baffius and Hastings co-op. Okay, that's good. It was way too easy when I was playing co-op, so that's good. So, civilization balance. Let's see. See, they've changed Lancers. So, Step Lancer reload time lowered from 2.3 to 2.2. So essentially they just attack a little bit faster. Lancers needed a change. Whether this is enough to make them viable, yet to be seen. But let's see. Hankener's hit points increased from 35 to 40. And I will show you guys more later why I think they did this. But either way, Hankeners has appeared quite weak in certain scenarios, but they're also seemed extremely strong in other scenarios. So personally, I'm not a big fan of this. But okay. And also I feel like it buffs civilizations like Burgundians that kind of rely on Hankeners in some scenarios, and they didn't really need to be better. The speed of bullet projectiles increased from 5.5 to 7.5, so that also is also a buff to Hankeners as well. Burmese, Howdah gives battle elephants +1/+2 armor instead of +1/+1. Yeah. So I don't really feel like changing their battle elephants is what they needed, like Burmese needed. So I don't. This feels like a little bit of a nothing change where they're increasing them in an area where they're already very strong. So it doesn't really change anything about the civilization. Feels unnecessary, but okay. Let's see how it plays out. They're not going to take damage from arrows at all anymore, but okay. Byzantines fixed an issue where the hit points of watchtowers in the Castle Age and steel workshops in the Imperial Age were lower than expected. Okay. Town Patrol is also now free and instantly researched. So Town Patrol and Town Watch now free right away as soon as you hit the respective ages. Chinese team bonus changed from to farms plus 10% food instead of plus 45% food. I think that's a good change. I think the plus 45 food is actually a really underrated team bonus. It's obviously a strong team bonus, but I don't think a lot of people realized how strong it actually is. So I think this is a very good change. It also nerfs Chinese a little bit in 1v1. So I think this is a good change. I've been calling out for them to change the team bonus to nerf that for a long time. So I'm happy to see that it has finally happened. Now this is a change I'm heavily against. What is the issue with Cumans right now? The way Cumans are played is pretty much you go for the 2 TC in Feudal Age, try to survive into the Castle Age, and then you transition to your army choice. This changes nothing about the civilization except making it stronger in accomplishing that. And the thing with Cumans is if you can do the 2 TC boom and you get out of it, you're usually in a very, very good situation. Now, does this suddenly justify for a Cuman player to go scouts or go archers in Feudal Age? Sure, it's easier, I guess. Are you going to be better off compared to other civilizations? Not really. Eco bonuses are still better. So, in my opinion, the only thing they have done with this is simply really making that thing that they were already really good at, just giving it another power spike. And I don't think that's what they needed. I don't think this is going to change how they defend or how they play out. If anything, it just makes it easier for them to do the 2 TC boom. And it doesn't encourage... If I'm playing humans, this alone wouldn't encourage me to suddenly be like, oh, the second TC shouldn't be played anymore. I'd rather go for archers and scouts. Anyway, okay. Here's what it is. I disagree with this. But, okay. Lithuanians can now research and train the Winged Hussar. So, the Winged Hussar will have a bigger look at this later. But it is the new Hussar that is introduced with the Dawn of the Dukes DLC with the Poles. Guy in chat is asking, what is the Dawn of the Dukes? The Dawn of the Dukes is the new DLC released today. So they can train the Winged Hussar instead of Hussar. By the way, this replaces Hussar. You don't have Hussars and Winged Hussar. You only have one. And Lithuanians and the Poles will have Winged Hussars. They lose Blast Furnace, so that's the last attack upgrade, giving +2 attack to their melee units. That's probably directly correlated with the fact that I get Winged Hussar, which is a stronger Hussar. And to compensate for this nerf here as well, they're also giving Lightis more attack from 12 and 14 to 13 and 16. Malians, a change. Malians was So Malians is a civ that... Has anyone ever suggested a Malians change? Got the Paladin. No, yeah, it is a nerf as well to the relic bonus of Lithuanians, right? So their Paladins are weaker. But if you have 4 relics, you still have really good Paladins. So it's also addressing their relic bonus a little bit, which is good. Did anyone ever ask for a Malians change the last year? No, because Malians are great. They were fine the way they are. So let's change Malians. And now Malians have 30% longer lasting gold mines instead of the free gold mining technology. Okay. I don't see... This seems super unnecessary, but okay. Sicilians now start with an extra 100 stone. Ooh. So you start with 300 stone as Sicilians. Meaning dungeon rushing. Can you afford 2 dungeons then right off the bat? I don't even remember how much... how strong is... how much wood is a dungeon stone? Is it 175? Okay, so you can only do 1 dungeon still, but this is really... That's actually really good. You can also stonewall easier. You can build a dungeon. You can drop town centers after building a dungeon. Interesting. Team bonus. Effect change to remove the cost of the first trained transport ship and train it instantly. So the previous team bonus was all the extra armor to transport ships, right? They changed that so that everyone can spawn a transport ship. All players, that is teammates or Sicilian's player himself, can train a transport ship instantly. Stupid change. I hate it. I hate everything that they keep adding that is just instant. It just... I feel like there's no strategy involved. If they want to make a team bonus, make it free. Have them make it. Don't... Instant. Instant to me just removes strategic choice and depth of the game, and heavily disagreed. But okay. Let's carry on. Units, organ guns. I don't see Portuguese listed here anywhere. I guess this is for Portuguese, they just didn't put them in there. Organ guns, secondary projectiles now consistently deal 2 damage as opposed to 1 or 2, depending on where they hit their primary target. Organ guns are back. Let's go. Sicilians now receive access to the siege launcher upgrade. Okay. Pretty strong. They're trying to make Sicilians viable, let's put it like that. Scootage replaced with the Hauberk technology. So scootage is no longer a thing. Scootage... What was even scootage? I don't even remember anymore. Was it the one where they get more armor? No, more conversion resistance and such for their sergeants? And the gold? Oh, 15 gold for every military unit. Okay. Oh, First Crusade gives more resistance. Never mind, my bad. Yeah, so this is the one that you got 15 gold for every military unit you and your teammates had. Okay. And Hauberk is a unique technology that grants knights +1 melee and +2 pierce armor. And this costs 500 food, 400 gold. Essentially making the Sicilians, who already have, they take less bonus damage. And they're kind of a one and a half trick pony already. Now they just made Cavalier like the only choice for them to play, in my opinion. I could be wrong on this, but I feel like anyone going anything else than Knights and Cavalier in the Imperial Age, probably gonna be the wrong choice. And +1 melee and +2 pierce armor. If I'm not mistaken, this makes them stronger on the armor count than Paladin. At least on pierce armor. I could be wrong here. We'll have to double check that. I'm sure chat will correct me as well. So that's the balance changes. Yeah, so they have 1 extra armor compared to Paladin now on the pierce armor. But I think melee armor might be the same. Right, random maps. I think this I just skip for now. If you're interested in those things, then by all means, go ahead and check it out. Diplomacy options no longer grayed out. Okay. Nation where players who joined the lobby using an outdated data model were booted from the lobby. Okay. Good. AI. Don't think there's anything here for us to see. Pathfinding. Units which were commanded using attack move no longer try to get into formation when reaching the destination they were sent to, while enemy units are in sight or in sight instead of fighting those. Okay. Don't think there's anything else yet right now for us to look. There's some comments here about the Alt F4 Q dodging and such. But yeah, let's go into the game and have a look at the tech tree of the Bohemians first. So we know Bohemians are a gunpowder and monk civilization. And the civilization has blacksmiths, monasteries, and universities cost 100 wood less, which is really good, really strong. Especially clown players will love this. The monasteries being cheaper, you will see more in a little bit. Chemistry and hand cannoneer is available in the Castle Age. Now you remember a couple of minutes ago, we pointed out how hand cannoneers have been buffed. 5 extra HP, their bullets go faster. I wonder if they made this change because of this civilization. And this makes hand cannoneers... Now, of course, you have to research chemistry first, which takes a while. But the university is cheaper, so it's quite easy to get up. And then you research chemistry, and suddenly you're making hand cannoneers in the Castle Age. I would say this is not OP. I would say that initially. But then they add extra HP and increase the bullet speed of the hand cannoneers, and then I'm like a little bit worried about how this is going to play out. Now keep in mind, a Janissary from the Turks has 1 more range, the same HP, even more because of the Turk Civ bonus, and the same attack. So I don't think it's going to be that big of a problem. I think it might be okay. But yeah, it will be interesting to see how the hand cannoneers play out in the Castle Age for the Bohemians. Fervor and Sanctity, well before that, Spearman Line deals 25% extra bonus damage. So I'm predicting like Pikeman, hand cannoneer being, and Halberdier, hand cannoneer being a very popular composition with the Bohemians. We're gonna have to wait and see obviously, but that seems like a very, very nice playstyle now because they obliterate cavalry and the only weakness pretty much being like arbalest or ranged units, so to say. Fervor and Sanctity affect villagers. I will show you guys what technologies those are. You can see they have the full monastery. Fervor, 15% faster movement speed. Meaning, this is essentially a economy boost now. So if you're Bohemians, you go fast castle, you drop a monastery for 75 wood, and you research Fervor, which will give your villagers 15% faster movement speed. Berber's villagers move 10% faster. So this is 5% faster than even that. That's a solid eco boost. Mining camp technologies are free. Oh, it costs food as well? It doesn't say anything about it costing 140 food. It only says 140 gold. Yeah, you go fat. Like, this is an arena civ. But yeah, let's continue. Mining camp technologies are free. I think they get all of them. Yeah, all the mining technologies upgrades are free. So further pushing the clown of Sanctity. I don't see a food cost there either, but let's see. This is a clown civ. You put vills on gold, you mine gold faster, you move faster, you go monks. Enjoy. Then you go fast imp and you already have chemistry. And you drop and you make bomber cannons. Because you've been producing hand cannoneers on the way to imp. There's a lot of fun things here. Unique unit Hussite Wagon, siege weapon. And nice. Bomber cannon, unique bomber cannon. We'll look more at those in a second. Unique text Wagenburg tactics. Gunpowder units move 15% faster. This is a Castle Age unique tech where you can pretty much make your hand cannoneers move faster and bomber cannons. I assume the Hussite Wagon also count as a gunpowder unit, so it will also probably benefit from this. Hussite reforms, monks and monastery upgrades have their gold cost replaced by food. Ah, so you can do this technology in Imperial Age. 800 food, 450 gold, and after that you can make monks or food. No, never mind, that's my bad. After that, you can research, you can turn all of these to just food costs, which is an interesting thing. Like Faith, for example, really expensive, 1,000 gold. Suddenly this is 1750, 1,750 food only. Heresy will become 1,000 food. That's suddenly a really good one. Does it actually make the monks also cost monks and monastery upgrades have their gold cost replaced by food? I don't think it says anything about monks cost being replaced by food. I think it's just the upgrades, no? It doesn't, to me I don't read this as, does it really make monks cost? That's what it says. Monks and monastery upgrades have their gold cost replaced by food. But to me, okay, I guess it does. Oh yeah, you're right. So monks will cost food. Oh, okay, what a meme sieve. Okay, meme sieve confirmed. Team bonus is markets working 80% faster. That's actually a ridiculously good team bonus. Imagine how fast you get trade set up. Right now, okay, so my prediction of Bohemians right now is, but let's go through the tech real quickly. So they have Obelisk, they have hand cannoneers, champion halberdiers, they have squires and arson, supplies. You only get Cavalier and light cav. So stable is very poor from the Bohemians. Or very, I say very poor, it's not impressive. Siege, you have Captram, Onisher, Heavy Scorpion, and Bomber Cannon. And then you have the unique siege unit, the Hoofnice. It has long range, strong versus buildings, and siege weapons. What's the difference here? So you have 15 more attack compared to Bomber Cannon. You have 10 more HP. You have 1 more pierce armor. So I guess you have to upgrade this, which costs 950 food, 750 gold, and it replaces the Bomber Cannon. It's a nice upgrade. I think this is nice. But it will be essentially the same. It will be a Bomber Cannon just with buffed stats. So it's a nice one. They have all the upgrades for the armor and range. Attack upgrades fully, don't have the armor. Yeah, so cavalry units for Bohemians is not going to be a thing. You won't see that much. They are lacking theirs. Did they have bloodlines? Oh, they don't even have bloodlines. Yeah, cavalry units for Bohemians are going to be a no-go. Infantry upgrades also older. So they have fully upgraded helps and champions with the spearman bonus damage as well. Don't have fast fire ships, don't have heavy demos. They do have galleon. No dry dock or shipwright though, so also a very bad dock civilization. Although your cannon galleons can actually move faster with the unique tech, right? That's interesting. University, they have everything except heated shot. And then we come to they also have bomber towers, by the way. The Hussite Wagon. Bohemian unique siege unit. Units behind it. Whoa. So this costs 110 wood, 70 gold. It has 200 HP, 17 attack, 0 melee armor, 7 pierce armor, and 6 range. Units behind it receive 50% less damage from incoming projectiles. So this is a unit you kind of want to mix in with other range. Like, make a Hussite Wagon, put your hand cannoneers behind it. Wait, dude. I mean, just make a couple of Hussite Wagons and place your hand cannoneers and your monks behind it, and the enemy doesn't have a counter to your hand cannoneers. It's 50% less damage. So that's gonna be, it's gonna be very interesting to see how big the radius is behind them. Like how far back does it go? How wide does it go? Or if it's just the one square behind, obviously then it's not that great. Elite Hussite Wagon, 250 HP, 20 attack, 1 melee armor, 10 pierce armor. 10 pierce armor. And it costs only 800 wood, 600 gold. This is a... to me, this seems like a strong unit because it has okay range, a lot of HP, a lot of attack, and then there's also a lot of pierce armor, and it gives a buff to units around it. So that's a very interesting unit. We're gonna have to wait and see how fast it moves, how strong it is. I might do a quick test on that a little bit at the end of the video where I just check how fast it goes and such. Other details, probably not gonna check that out now. Have everything in economy as well, except crop rotation. So that's Bohemians. To me, this seems like a good flank civ right now. Market team bonus is very good. There's a lot of meme potential here. A lot of meme potential. I think this is a very memey civ at the moment. Clown civ, if you will. There are definitely things in here that to me sounds like fun to use. Whether it's going to be good for the game or balanced is a whole different story, right? We're going to have to wait and see. Especially this thing here could be used... The Hussite Wagon could be used real nicely as a team play as well, right? Imagine Mangudai or something. You just place your Hussite Wagon in front of Mangudai, whatever, and yeah, it's gonna be fun to see how this civ plays out for sure. The monastery also and all those. There's okay, whatever. Let's move on to the Poles, the other civilization coming in this DLC. Cavalry civilization. Villagers regenerate 5 HP per minute in dark, 10 in feudal, 15 in castle age, and 20 in imperial age. So essentially, if you're being raided throughout the ages, you will recover HP every minute. Meaning this is a civ that, like, if you're going in to raid this civ, you better make sure you kill those villagers, because next time you come in, they're all gonna have full HP again, pretty much. Bulwark replaces mill. Not sure what that is yet, but we'll see. Oh, this is an interesting one. As I saw a little bit of the talk about this. Stone miners generate gold in addition to stone. Essentially what this means is that you have villagers that are mining stone, you also get gold on the side. And I think it's roughly 50% of the stone. So if you mine 2 stone, I think you get 1 gold. Something like that. Fast Castle unique unit civ. There's trust me, a thing like this where you have that type of bonus, you have so much potential to come up with unique builds with things like that. But either way, let's continue here. Unique unit, the Obuk. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's an infantry unit. And of course the winged hussar that we saw with the Lithuanians as well. Unique text, Schlachta privileges, which means knights cost 60% less gold. That's a castle age tech, costing 500 food, 300 gold. Wait, let me go back to Bohemians quickly. I want to check the cost of the unique techs. So Wagenburg tactics is 300 food, 300 gold. Hussite reforms is 800 food, 450 gold. Yeah. Poles. 500 food, 300 gold, and suddenly your knights cost 60% less gold. Does anyone want to do the math for me so I don't have to embarrass myself on stream? 30 gold. 42.5 gold less. So a knight will essentially cost like 30 gold. 32.5 gold. But there's so many different numbers now in chat. I don't know which one is the correct one. 30? Okay. So a knight will cost 30 gold from now on. Damn. 60-30 knights. Obviously, this is something that comes down the road. You need to have a castle and research the technology for this to actually come into play. So it's still it sounds super strong, but it's out there, right? It will take a while, so I'm not too worried about that. Lechitic Legacy. Light cavalry deals trample damage, meaning the winged hussar will also do trample damage. Now, trample damage is just like I think initial bonus damage on your first hit after coming into a fight or something like that. I'm not 100% sure exactly how that works, but I think so. Team bonus: Scout cavalry, light cavalry, and hussar +1 attack versus archers. Yeah. Okay, this civ will be like only playing scouts the whole game. It hits adjacent units. Trample is like, oh, so does it hit adjacent units all the time, or is it just like the first? Is it consistent area of effect damage? Okay, so it essentially means the Hussar do area AoE damage. I'm scared, guys. Let's look at the tech tree. We have Obelisk, we have Elite Skirms, Heavy Archer, and Thumbring, but no part in Tactics or Handcannoners. You get Champion, but you don't get Pikeman. You have Supplies, Squires, and Arson. So the Waynehussar, the stats of this, essentially this is an upgrade similar to how you would normally upgrade from Light Cav to Hussar. The cost is 100 food more, 200 gold more. So instead of 500, 600, it's 600 food, 800 gold. And the difference in stat is +1 pierce armor. No, how was it? Yeah, I think it's +1 pierce armor and +2 attack and 5 extra HP. Yeah. This unit, considering that it's a trash unit, now it has potential for AoE damage. It has 2 extra attack compared to Hussar. It has 1 extra pierce, 1 extra melee armor, correction. 1 extra melee armor, not pierce armor, my bad. And 5 extra HP. I'm scared. I'm scared. Let's put it like that. Obviously, first impressions and everything can be different once you start playing it, but it seems quite strong. Bloodlines, Husbandry is also there, but you don't really have anything else. Cavalier is an option. You get Siege Ram, you get Onager, no Heavy Scorpion. You get Bomber Tower, Bomber Cannon, sorry. So you don't have Hand Cannoners, but you have Bomber Cannon. That is quite odd to me. In the Blacksmith, you don't have the last armor upgrade for archers. Oh, okay. Now this changes things. You don't have the last cavalry armor upgrade. That is very interesting. Okay, I'm not as worried anymore about the Winged Hussar. It's still gonna have a huge potential, but considering you don't have the last armor upgrades, it's not as strong as I first feared. Everything else you have Bracer, Blast Furnace, and Plate Mail armor. The dock doesn't look great either. No shipwright, dry dock, heavy demos, and elite cannon galleons, but they do have fast fires, so that helps. University, missing architecture, siege engineers, and heated shot. So you even get bomber cannon, bomber towers and bomber cannons, but you don't get. See here? I think that said I've finished downloading the DLC. I think the game is officially out now. That's weird that you don't have hand cannoners when you have the other bomber tower, cannon, gunpowder units. Sorry. So here's the Obuch. Polish unique infantry unit which can damage the armor of units it is fighting. I think what it does is... I don't remember. I think I heard how it works once, but essentially you remove the armor of an enemy unit. Meaning that when you fight a unit, you will remove the armor with every hit. And that is permanent changes, right? I don't think it is that you ignore armor. I think that every hit also removes armor. It subtracts armor until 0. With every hit, I think it loses 1 + 1 + 1. I'm not 100% sure, but I think. So it has 80 HP, 8 attack, +2 +2 armor, and it costs 55 food and 20 gold. Quite cheap cost, but very interesting how it works. Gonna have to wait and see how that is gonna play out. And they have the elite version, which costs 800 food, 600 gold to upgrade. You get 15 more HP, 2 more attack. The armor stays the same, however. So legacy, the Leshitic legacy costs 750 food, 550 gold, and that's the trample damage or AoE damage for the scout cavalry. Yes, it is 80 HP in the castle age, which is quite a lot for an infantry unit. Monastery, not that great. Missing Illumination, Atonement, and Heresy, but it's fine. Missing Gold Shaft Mining, missing 2-man Saw. Everything else you have in market. So, so the Folwark, I forgot about that. So this is a mill. Keep in mind, this replaces the mill. So you cannot build a mill. This is the only thing you can build if you want to have the equivalent of the mill. it costs 25 wood more, so it's 125 wood cost. And it's used to deposit food and research farming technologies. It immediately collects 10% of food from nearby newly constructed farms. Inca team bonus just got useful. It also provides 5 population, so it functions as a house as well, kind of. So the cost is not extra if you compare it to a mill, it's just a mill and a house. Build near forage bushes or other source of food to gather food faster. So essentially, if you finish a farm that has 175 food, you get 17 and a half food deposited to your stockpile as soon as that farm finishes. It might sound very strong. It might be very strong. It just adds more. It just makes the Hussar play better. But it's hard to say how this will play out. I'm interested to see how it plays out though. So it has, compared to Lumber Camp with 600 HP, this one has 1000 HP. Yeah, that's the main difference. That'll be interesting to see exactly how it'll be. Booming is gonna be really good with this, yeah, indeed. Because you can mine stone to get gold that you need for potentially upgrades or whatever. Like you can essentially just mine stone and you will still have gold to maybe make mangonels or scorpions to defend while booming. And then on top of that, you also have the free, in quotes, food from dropping farms around mills. It is very... there's a lot of things here to cover, yeah? So Lithuanians, you can see as well, have the Winged Hussar instead of the regular Hussar now. They lose Blast Furnace, however, from the blacksmith. So yeah, we're gonna see. That's essentially the grid of it. I don't think I want to go into unit testing and everything. You know there will be videos out on different channels and such for YouTube, which will show you exactly how these things work. Regarding the poll, let me have a quick look at their tech tree again. How I think the civ will play out. I honestly don't know. The stone miners also generating gold is so weird. So every time you mine 2 stone, you get 1 gold for free. It increases the... You have so many opportunities to change your build order based on this, and this will take a lot of experimenting. And this patch dropped a few days before the Red Bull Rule of 5 qualifiers. That's a lot to adjust to in such a short time. I honestly have no idea how this will play out. It'll be cavalry focused for sure with the Winged Hussar. The Obuk. You guys gonna have to teach me how to say it. Will be interesting to use. And then their archer units are still viable. I don't think the slashed up privileges is gonna be that much of a game changer. But yeah, it's very interesting either way. Obviously, there's also new campaigns here. You can see in the campaigns we have a Eastern European now section with all these. I would have to restart the game to be able to click in on them. But these are the 3 new campaigns of the Dawn of the Dukes. And I'm not sure if there are more changes. But either way, that was my initial first thoughts on the Dawn of the Dukes. Let me know what you think. It's going to be interesting to play out with them. I'm still not sure how I feel about everything. But there's only one way to find out, and that is pretty much playing with them and experimenting. And I'm sure we'll have a lot of fun doing that. So, goodbye, YouTube.